Sorry, we are already late. Let's see. So let's touch this before we continue, that because the question will be preparing from the presentation. Okay, the questions will be prepared from the presentation, and the workshop actually solve the presentation. Good. We just make the presentation in a way that people can easily understand, but this wording is actually your learning, how we implement things. So let's see. Let's see. Are you guys back? Okay, close it. Close it. Okay, let's see. Yep. All right. So how many things you have done so far? Let's go see. Import done. This is done. This is done. The response implementation. I think this part is completely done. Who will do the environment now? Okay. Okay, good. So we are actually doing the implementation. This part is done. Environment, we are going to start the environment. And that's we'll see. But one more time, before you understand the environment, you guys should be able to do all the API, at least 5, 6. You can do the password verification. You can do from the API. Okay. Reset password. Resend OTP. Remember? Okay. Ready? So, okay, you guys mute.
Yeah.
Except the Google Auth, you should be able to actually, the other API, you should be able to create the API test case and the API, like the manual API verification. And then like the positive and negative test cases. Do not worry, we will be, Pramtu will be giving like a 3 hours demonstration, 3 hours, all of this. One more time, Pramtu will be giving a 3 hours demonstration, and everything is teaching, everything will be shown, and you guys will be getting it. Remember we said we'll be giving our own show and tell? Yeah. That will be our show and tell. So then everything will be on your head. But you will see how the implementation is. You are learning everything here. So just that part is like the learning the tools implementation is. Good. So there is like if you are behind, you are not behind. If you watch that, you'll be catching up. So at least in our show and tell, we'll be covering so many things, so many APIs, and so many user stories. We'll be designing everything properly. Good. But before that, if you are like curious, make sure you can do so many API here as well. User email. If you see how many user email, if you want to verify any user email, see, you can do from here. Now you say, what does it mean? That's the database verification. Typically as user, you cannot do, right? You are the buyer. So now, from a developer point of development QA point of view, you do not need to go to the database each time to verify anything. You can simply,
if the email is already in the database. Like
yes.
Start
Yes. Yep.
But can we use a temp mail to try all these tests?
Which mail?
The temp mails. You know, the temporary mails, fake ones.
You can make that's the test data preparation. Okay. That's the you'll be doing, right?
10-minute mail temporary mails. Yeah, it will work.
Yeah.
Okay.
It will accept anything you do. So SUTS for you, I'm just at gmail.com. So if it is valid, then let's see. Yeah, email is taken. Select another. So it means you can verify if a new email is taken or not. So this is like each of the API is actually built. An API means functionality, like on the web-based functionality. So we will not go over all of this because there is so many. And the more you understand the requirements, there is seller panel. The seller portal API is here too. Okay, what the seller does in this platform: add product, update inventory, delete product, the add shipping. So basically all the things you see on the web page, this is actually the API.
So there is an API for every balance.
Almost.
What's patch means again by patch? Post patch क्या? Yeah,
Patching,
what's it again?
kind of cleaning something like a. So what do you do in the wall patching?
You're making it look nice.
Remember, the patching means something you already messed up, and then you clean it up instead of destroy everything. Same concept here. Same. Good. He asked that what did the patch means? Something you built broken, so you just add a fix. That's called the patching. Good. So you see this order API, and then you see the category API. You see the campaign API, because as a seller, you need to do the campaign for the business, right? And the brand API, then the review API, there is the address API, there is the notification API, default, and then all this API for this web-based application. Is it feasible to say this project can go take, even if you test today, it can take 8 months to do all of this? Make sense?
Yes.
That's the reason we call the application development can go 6 to 8 months. So once you guys will be doing, if you have any issues, definitely communicate in the chat. Once we'll be giving the show and tell, we'll be at least taking the 8 to 10 APIs, designing, positive, negative, implementing the token, implementing the environment variable, everything implemented, running the automation, everything will be shown. Then you guys get everything right away. Good. Okay, so let's go back to here. So the environment, remember we said the test, staging, production. Our goal is test and staging. So code is in the test environment, you are doing all of this. If you go to the staging, and you have to test all the API, how you do that? You can copy everything, copy and paste everything, or we are going to create an environment here. Make sense? So if we do create an environment here, click it here, click here, and click environment. There is a global, there is a local. Only environment is local, and the global is like that you can use anywhere. So anyway, the moment you hear the environment, it is something like a, again, we implemented the last week, like we said, how the staging testing. And global means if you need to use something in everywhere, right? And the global will be using the variable here. And if you want to use in specific, like the places, we'll be using the only environment. That's how the environment implemented. So we'll be using only this here for now. Okay. And again, it's automation. It's not manual anymore. The things are automated now. So you just simply call the staging, your environment name, and you put the value there. Okay. So value is actually this. Okay. Server full email. That's it. Nothing else. You just do this. So what is the value? And that's it. One more time. Just give a name. That's the variable. A variable is a placeholder. When a code run, it looks for the variable value. So it will be looking for this. You'll be just calling this, but it will be actually behind the scene, it will be executing this. So now what we are fixing? If it is like a, we create the new one. Let's see, duplicate it, right? Let's duplicate it and give a name. We'll call that test, or we can call it staging. Let's call it staging, right? Staging collection. And let's call this one is test collection. Good. In the test collection, so we have quite a bit of API now, right? So look at this. So the code is in the Now the staging environment, right? We're staging. So you have two options now. See this? So now you have a two option. You have to go each of this API, then you need to make the changes. You need to make the changes. What is the change? New URL. Am I right? Because the URL will be different. Remember we spoke last week.
Yeah.
Each of the environment URL is the different. So you can do this way, or you go actually the environment level, right? Actually, let's save it. Let's do this here. What did I do here? What happened? Okay, yeah, click it here, and then click it here. Yeah, we did not make any environment, so let's create it. So let's put this. We did not save it here. So save it. After you create the environment, you have to save it. Click save, so it is done. And you can give a name. So this is test. And you can call this one is staging. You can create the new environment here, or you can actually use. So for this one, we are going to create the new environment. Environment is easy. You just simply call this test. And for the sake of, like I do this, the same thing. Click it, save it, save it. It will be doing itself. So now they here is the value. You do not need to do any of the staging URL. We're simply calling that variable. What variable? We'll be just calling here. Test environment. If you go here, we'll be just calling this URL only. Only this variable only, sorry. Only this variable. Very careful, look at this. From here, that's the one, right? We provided the value there. Save it. That's it. Done. So what we are fixing now, we are not actually giving the URL for anything at all.
What do you mean?
Because URL is already here. URL is already, so you are changing one place. You are adding in one place, that's it.
Okay, but all this time we were putting a whole sentence there.
Correct. No, not the URL, whole like the URL here. No, you do not need to do anymore.
That means we are, instead of URL, we are giving environment, right?
Environment, but you are controlling the URL in one data table. It's like kind of the table, right? That's it.
Yeah.
So now if you have a 500 API, it does not matter. You just make the changes there, then you're good. Simple. Simple, the implementation, but the big solution. Am I right? You can do many other things from here as well. We'll be doing this, but understand this. So you are not using the same thing over and over. You're just fixing the problem. So now each of the API you go and you just do this. Double curly braces, staging done. So if it is the orange color, that means it's good. Look at this orange color, and you see this initial value, current value, and the scope is environment, because we added in the environment, not the global. Good? Easy, right? It's not that complex. So now we can do the bearer token like this too. Don't you think so? Because you have to, if you want to test the bearer token here, you have to copy and paste. How? Okay, so let's, before we go to that bearer token, any question on this, how to create an environment? Simple. Just go to the environment and give a variable. A variable is a placeholder. Programming language always the execute based on the variable.
Is that the only use of environment?
There are so many things. You can run the, you can store anything from the response body, you can store here. It's called the parameter actually. Good, you're just passing the value. You want to make anything dynamic, you can do. Good.
I think someone waiting for join.
No, she was to go to the other workshop. Okay. So how you guys, if you guys create all of this, you can actually make the changes. The same thing, remember environment change and the other thing. What is the other thing? Your test data has to be changed too. Do you know why? Because the test database is different name and the staging database is different name. Am I right? Let me give her 1 second. She's trying to log into the other environment. 1 second. Okay. Before that, remember we did this part. What is it? Oh, sorry. What is that part? That's the OTP or recent OTP. So now you ask the what, like what you can implement. You can implement these things as well. Fatima Khan, right? What is the name? Fatima Khanis
60@gmail.com.
Okay. And remember, you guys said we lost it. Actually, you can do again because you can do same thing from the website. Here. It did. So it is true. It is
before, right?
She got the recent again. You got it again. Okay, so resend OTP now. Now let's do the verify again. We're good. Token is expired. So this, the token is given for a specific thing. That's how the backend actually ensure how the front end should be working. What I'm doing all of this, you can do all of this from here, but actually your test design has to be in the Postman. So now let's go back again. Verify OTP, resend OTP, put it the resend OTP. That's the password update. If you want to forget your password, right? That's the password update. So what it's looking for? Token ID. Password, confirm password. So you can do pretty much everything from the API. Those functionality exists, right? On the website. So that's how you can do, how you have to do from here. Once all this working just fine, then this API gets implemented. Okay, so let's go quickly this part. Which one? This one, right? Environment. So let's see. What is it? Okay. So any question on the environment before you go to the next one? No question, right? So on the environment, we can actually store anything we want. Anything, basically. Mostly we do on the response body, anything, because the response body come from the server. Request body, we are sending. Requesting means as a client, I am requesting response body from the server. And server give the information different each time. How? Because the token will be different each time. OTP will be different each time, correct? And if you want to do the manually, you can do manually all of this, but you can do the automation as well. How? You are actually storing the information on the environment table. And then you'll be calling the variable in your test. 3 things. If you want to store anything from the response body, the best approach is create a variable on the environment and give the value. And then you call this variable to your test wherever it is needed. Because that's you actually do. That's what we'll be doing after this, like it is shown. You do not go this, you follow our one. Now you get the JWT token, Java Web Token. I think the same token we are talking about, the same token we just said, but this is called the specific, the name is Java Web Token. The token we saw that. So the purpose of this token is just to protect your communication with, and also ensure that you only get the specific resource. JSON Web Token, sorry, I said that wrong. JSON Web Token is an internal internet proposed standard creating data, optional signature, optional encrypted. Encryption means like a secure, means nobody can see this. That's the encryption. And then we know the payload because you are communicating. So make sure this communication is secure. Am I right? That's the end goal. So you saw that that's actually JSON Web Token. Okay. And that it shows the how the implementation will be doing that. And how to actually how to make it automated. Your response body to the automation will be seeing that as well. And then schema validation, we'll be talking about this. Now the implementation is started. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
No?